Next, we'll look at route performance. And again, route performance is almost a follow-on to the route optimization piece. If route optimization is generating the initial route plan, then measuring against that plan is how you understand route performance. So again, looking at a lot of the same types of initial metrics that the route optimization piece sets in that process, now we can measure against that to determine the performance of a specific route. So again, how many stops are on that route? What's the route sequence? What is the routing that they've been presented with from a sequence perspective? Utilizing GPS turn-by-turn navigation could factor into this as well. What's the distance? What's the total distance for that route? How, are you trying to keep it under a 100-mile radius, or is that a factor at all? Do you start at your furthest stop first, or do you start at your closest stop first, and taking into account traffic with that as well? And then delivery ticket size. What are you delivering? What size is it? How many pieces are we talking about? Because that will help us set an expected stop time. If you know generally what the time is you expect your driver to spend on site, then we can measure based on an arrival and departure time what actual time was spent on site and determine what should be adjusted based on that. And then there's customer issues. If you have OS&Ds, if you have docks that are full, if you have a variety of different situations could occur at a particular customer, which will increase the stop time, which then ultimately could impact the rest of the route. Additional customers after that may be delayed based on those scenarios. So these are all things we want to take into account when we're trying to measure route performance. So the goal is, again, we're trying to increase stops, decrease hours and miles for our routes. So measuring how the route's actually performing will help us understand where there may be issues with the plan, or issues with the route driver, or potentially even customer issues. And in that process, if we can eliminate any unnecessary routing or driving that only is costing you money as it relates to time and vehicle expense. So establishing benchmarks for route performance. Again, we've got to track a lot of the same type of information that we're capturing through the route optimization process. How many stops per route are we looking at? When do we expect the route to start? What's the expected arrival times? How are we measuring against that? Does that fit within the expected duration time for that stop? Understanding, how drivers are performing. Are they starting late? Are they taking too much time at stops? Where, if any, are there factors that need to be adjusted? Either drivers' behavior could change, or potentially the plan needs to change. But in that process, and looking at route performance, you can identify, troubled routes, troubled drivers, and/or potentially troubled customers. Potential improvement in metrics, improved visibility. To me, that's a key piece. If you don't have visibility about how your delivery operations are running, it's very difficult for you to determine what to improve upon and how to measure that improvement. Increased customer service and satisfaction. If you're performing against your route plan well, your customers are probably happy because delivery windows are being met, products being delivered in a timely fashion, and so on. Measuring route plan can really, or route performance can really improve route plan adherence. So in the event that you run a route optimization, but then everything's on paper and drivers are, they don't know if they're being measured or not against that plan, a variety of things can happen. When the plan is, performance is being measured, then adherence to that plan tends to increase. And then, again, depending upon the type of business, the number of stops on a route, and so on, we've had customers claims up to a 63% increase in stops per day, based on their current business model and how they were performing on their routes. So a lot of potential for improvement through route performance monitoring.